Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video in Ground Arena 3v3. This is going to be a follow-on video from my previous Jammax July highlights video. Obviously this time it's going to be on my alt account for solo. So it's going to be the same rounds as my previous video, so the last two rounds of week 1 and the first round of week 2. And I do have a lot of good fights in here actually. I've got a Malgus on defense, which we actually use C solo. With a bunch of other fights, lots of relic inquisitors that we use Triumvirate against, and some oddball teams like using Mando lead versus the Nest and Bros. But anyway, we'll be starting off with C, obviously working our way down through a bunch of teams, and I'll try to do my best with my commentary over these fights. Obviously C solo versus GACS first, pretty self-explanatory. You always link up GACS and 5s. As far as gaining so much turn meter, he can actually cause GACS to sit down pretty quickly. Obviously after his first turn in this case. He won't stand back up until right at the end. So with GACS fights in either 3v3 or 5v5 using C on his own, you can actually keep hold of your ultimate because you don't need to use it. The only reason you do this is if you were near full protection and could try and get that extra protection banner. Obviously you don't need to pop it because as soon as you go into ultimate you lose that ability to recover some protection. So for this fight I did actually just opt to not actually use my ultimate, but did actually get that protection banner in the end anyway because it is quite RNG based on whether you do recover that protection banner or not. As you can see, obviously with the kill 5s first, I just decided against using the ultimate because we've got full protection here, and I was like, okay, we can try to do this, but then obviously GACS stands up, crits me twice and pushes back my heal on, so then he's going to take a turn, so that's kind of a bit of unfortunate, but it's how it is, unfortunately. So you get a 58 there basically. Now here's the Malgus fight. It's quite an unusual lineup. Obviously it is 3 Omicron Relic 9 with Malgus and Sith Marauder, so we're just taking C solo as well. Obviously Malgus can't survive a big zap to the face, so we're going to try and spread that deceived as quick as possible. So just trying to build back up to the ultimate, do recovering protection where we can, even the deceived on. And now we have our ult. Obviously blind doesn't matter, even if you are blinded, you can actually still use the big pop because it will just delete the two that are linked. Obviously it won't do any much damage to Sith Marauder, but just in case of full auto until the end. That's a good way to deal with Malgus lead if you are not needing to use your GLs anywhere else. Obviously C is probably the best one to be using against that. Now we have SLKR solo versus Darth Revan. Quite a standard counter as well for a solo GL attempt. And I was 58 there again. Then we're moving on to SLKR versus Grand Inquisitor. This team did have a level 9 Datacron for Second Sister, so it was pretty tough. I think I already used a team before this, so the banners won't accurately reflect how many banners would have got if I'd done a first attempt. Obviously I just brought in, I wasn't sure whether, because the ability blocks we were going to be able to survive with just a solo SLKR, so obviously brought in the 2 sides to help out. And now we have GACS versus Maul Bo and DDK. We pass the turret over to Echo, then we can bomb with Echo to try and stun Decker, which we do, which is brilliant. Obviously that's the only annoying thing with using gas, because that's what normally tends to happen. Maul just goes and it just ends up with gas standing up on his own, and you have to 1v1. For some reason, it looks like I've stolen the whatever that buff is called that Mando gets. Maul, sorry, that dark saber looking thing. But anyway, it's pretty awful banners that. Then we have a version 2. Obviously Maul BAM and Jango. I want to say this one went a bit better, but I can't actually remember. Probably the same as the last fight. Days is super helpful. See, Maul's going to take all his turns again. Yeah, same as last time really. It's going to be a gas on his own soloing. Luckily no revive, so once Jango's dead, he's dead. Always going to struggle without using Rex and 5s really on offense. Especially if GACS sits down. But obviously Wampa versus Iden, it's just all on fast forward because obviously you have seen these counters before. I believe this one just took a while because obviously Stormtrooper's really tanky and the crit damage immunity kept obviously reducing my damage output from Shore Trooper. Bit of lag. There's Stormtrooper gone. Okay, so just getting through Shore. It's him gone, and it's just kill off Iden. Ball 58. Now we have Triumvirate versus 5th Brother lead, obviously Inquisitors. That's the reason this works very well is because 7th Sister always assists. And obviously 5th Brother has a counter chance. So obviously they can both basically kill themselves through Treya's lead. Obviously isolating 9th Sister just stops her from taunting. So we can basically leave 9th Sister alone until Nida's got his Annihilate. See, my battery was running really low there. Oh, I ended up wasting it on 7th Sister apparently. Could have had this fight done a lot quicker if I just used it versus 9th Sister, but never mind. Maybe I was thinking about trying to get some protection back on Scion, obviously if we let it play out a bit longer. Which I do believe we actually ended up getting. Yeah, so not a bad play to be honest. Using the Annihilate we did. Right, another Inquisitor fight. Same principle really, but obviously with 8th Brother in the lead slot rather than 5th Brother. Obviously isolate 9th Sister to stop her from taunting and being really annoying. See that semi-sister dealt with already. Can't target 8th brother because he's under stealth. So this time I annihilated 9th sister. Don't know what's going on here. I'm taking a bit of a while to select my abilities. Probably get distracted. So recover some protection there. And we get the 55. Obviously, got the protection back on Sign, which is obviously very good. Now he's moving on to JML Solo versus Qui-Gon Jinn. As you probably would have seen on my previous video. Very good use for using JML on his own against quite a tough team usually, because obviously using a GL completely cancels out the Omicron for Qui-Gon Jinn. Lucky dodge there. Normally what happens, he use the wave on Kiadi and he switches forms and just completely cleanses it off. Gonna collect switch forms like he normally does, that is typical. And then you just kill him for the 58. Now we have General Kenobi and Cat versus a CLS with the level 9 Datacron. Obviously it's not applied here because their current CLS is only level 5. But I did opt to bring my Stuncron just to make this really easy. See, that is over in seconds. And now we have a JMK versus a Ray Datacron. So using our own Datacron as well. That'll be a level 8 Datacron because I don't have it maxed out unfortunately on my solo account. Also we could be deleted Holdo straight off the bat with Cat. And I believe one of my guys dies from the whirlwind. Nope, maybe not. I think it might be after this next whirlwind we die off. Someone dies. See, that health steal is helping a lot. We could have killed Ray earlier if there wasn't so much health steal on that Datacron. I've got to hopefully survive the ultimate. Go into our own ultimate. You're just waiting for Ray to take a turn. Getting immunity is going to help a lot. And this is where we lose. Yep, that's where we lost Ahsoka. Which is unfortunate because obviously just one more turn and we would have got the win without losing Ahsoka. And now we have JMK Cat versus Nute with the Datacron as well. Not too sure what the Datacron was here, but I'd obviously left her meter as you can see. Probably trying something else out. So I think at that point I didn't have a plan for JMK, so I just like, alright, I'll just throw him at Nute. Now we have Jedi Knight Revan versus Finn. Obviously always mark resistant hero Finn first and kill him as soon as possible. Ideally I probably should have gone for a second special there to kill Finn right at the beginning. So he cleanse up, swap turns. Now mark Poe. He's dead. case of killing Finn. I dropped some banners there with a bit of a misplay. I should have called in either Yoda or Jedi Revan to kill Finn there, and I would have kept my protector banners on Jolie. We have JKR versus a Boba Zam Omicron team. So you cleanse that healing immunity. Kill Boba once, then kill Boba twice. Oh, unfortunately, didn't get him there. That save actually helped us a lot, actually, getting it there. He missed out on a couple of protection banners there, but it's still a pretty good score. Now we have Malak solo versus Hux. Obviously red and First Order Stormtrooper. Pretty standard team for Malak to solo. I have a Malak fight coming up next, which is against Rex and Barriss, which is pretty standard as well for Malak to solo, because obviously he completely doesn't, well, he doesn't ignore, but his abilities obviously don't matter against Barriss's Zeta. Because obviously once he stacks up to 3 of the, I don't know what the locked buff is called, but he will start applying healing immunity, which obviously stops him from healing, and his drain life just doesn't matter, so you're normally fine there. Obviously this one just takes a while. My Malak is Relic 7 on this account, because on my Jammax account he's only Relic 5, so I might have struggled a bit against this team had I been on my other account. And Axe Hux gone 99. And now we have Rex and Barriss, obviously, with 5s. So they're going to have to deal with 5s first. Because I don't really want him sacrificing on us. Obviously, by going after Rex. And we'll just leave Barriss because she does literally no damage. I could have drained life there, but I just decided to hold it for a little while, then use it after that turn, obviously. And that's 5's gone now, we can get rid of Rex. So I put that, well, I tried to put that tenacity down on him to obviously land that shock, or guarantee to land it, but he cleansed it because of Barriss. And this is Rex gone, and now I was just like, just put some full auto. There's no way that Barriss is going to solo Malak by herself, hitting like a wet noodle like she normally does. That's another 59. And now we have Iden versus Mon Mothma. Obviously, it's another very good team to be using Iden against if you're not putting her on defense. So this is the Omicron version, and she is Relic as well. So she obviously, you can see she's dealing quite a bit of damage. Triple those buffs. I was hoping that AoE might have killed Kara on the side, which it didn't, unfortunately. And I was like, terminate her, then she can't be revived. But anyway, we just finished obviously killing Carl there, so it didn't matter anyway. Now we've got Iden versus the CLS team. Obviously, this is what you can. That is the Datacron that they were using. Obviously, we are using our own Datacron, which I believe was just a bit of extra potencies, obviously landed dazes and stuns or whatnot, and recovering health protection or something when they daze and stun. Obviously part of the set 1 Datacron. And we terminate him, obviously to stop him doing any funny stuff with his Datacron. Right, JTR versus crew. Actually, I have 2 fights of this with the same lineup. I just wanted to show you how obviously the RNG can play out. So I think this one we lose our Scav Ray, but then the next one we don't. They're pretty simple, really. Obviously, you want to be applying those healing immunities to either Kylos to obviously be able to get through them. Quite unfortunate with the stun there on Scav. Probably should have waved my hand there at the other Kylo, but it doesn't matter. That's unfortunate we didn't land the healing immunity there. This was just kind of meant to show you that even if you do run the same team, you're never guaranteed the same results each time. Obviously, because I believe in the next fight that's coming up, Kylo does not target Scav Ray as much. So obviously, we get a bit luckier with landing healing immunity and all that sort of thing. So, should obviously see. Got a chunk through Kylo now he's got healing immunity, so he can't heal up. Didn't think there was much point wiggling at that point, so I was like, just need to kill him now. Now we move on to the same fight again. Obviously this time Scav Ray will survive, and you'll see how this turns out compared to the last one. So that's Fox dealt with. Probably also a modding thing, because it just seemed like this fight is playing out pretty similar to how the last one did. Maybe the Kylo obviously wasn't as well modded as the last one, I thought. I probably should just wave my hand there at crew, Kylo there again, rather than crew. To be honest, we actually got very lucky that Kylo didn't kill Scav Ray there. Now we have General Luke versus Dash with the Omicron and a Datacron as well. We are using our own Datacron here. I believe is my JML one, which we didn't end up using because he was obviously solo versus Qui-Gon Jinn. So I was able to use it with General Luke elsewhere. You nicely 234k hit there on Nest. And 150 to kill a Dash for 56. And now we have General Luke versus the Ackbar Omicron with Princess Leia Omicron. I did actually lose against this using Wampa because the riposte just completely obliterated him. Just because there was so much attacking out of turns that just killed him under his protection up. I just thought that maybe if we got some counters it would have been alright, but we obviously weren't, so I ended up using General Luke to clean up the Terminator one afterwards. Now we have Momothma versus Nute. That was a pretty staple counter nowadays in 3v3. So easy to kill the B1 stacks with Momothma, just because of the amount of assists. See, that's him dealt with already. Got a saber at Dooku to kill him. And I probably should have done a big heal there. Obviously to get Kara back up to full strength. I think at this point I was in obviously a lot of rush to not worry too much about banners. Or 56 there anyway, so it's still pretty good. Now we have the same lineup pretty much. Obviously rather than Dooku we do have Jango instead. So it's pretty much the same principle to kill this team as it was with the other one. There's no point going after Jango, he's got damage immunity, so I might as well kill Nute once. The team using that. Actually, no, it won't do that yet because he doesn't have the Jedi Knight ability, or ability buff. As I believe that is the only way you can trigger the heal from his first special. So obviously now if we threw the saber, do the heal, which we'll see here. And that's almost max banners. Stole them from me at the last second. Now we have Momothma versus GG. I'm using a Datacron here. I don't know what Datacron it was, but I don't think it would have made too much difference if I had used it or not. So we'll go after the Deca, so obviously the Commando, whatever his name is, can dispel the damage immunity. To kill B2. Now go after Deca. I think he's about to... oh, he almost one-shot my Kara. I think GG does actually kill Kara here. And then we're able to get a nice revive off for more banners. I can't remember if he does or not. Yeah, he does. Nice big heal there. And that gets us 56, obviously, because we've managed to recover some protection, more protection with Kyle's saber throw. And now we have Padme versus Darth Vader. So a slightly different team that we probably normally see. So that's Talon's mini savior ability working there. I probably should have used Ahsoka's first ability when she had loads of stacks of courage to kill Darth Vader, and then I would have been able to kill Darth Vader obviously afterwards with the mass assist from General Kenobi, which you saw. That would have been, yep, 54, because with the dots it's just so hard to recover the protection there. A Darth Revan, but obviously without Malak or Malgus. This is JTR. So now with Darth Raven versus Dash team. No Omicron on this team though. It was... well, not that Omicron does much for obviously Quail and IG-11. Obviously got a bit distracted here, but just waiting to use my Wild Lightning. Come on, use it. One zap. There we go. And we can kill Dash. Now we can do double tap on Quill because he's got Corrupted Battle Meditation. And just yoink him out with Malak. Another double tap. And 54, oh 55 there. Oh yeah, because obviously Malak doesn't have any protection. Alright, now we have Darth Raven versus a Emperor Palpatine Starkiller. As you can see from the preview of the team in the top right, the Starkiller is only gear 11. This is why I opted to use this team, so I thought we'd be able to handle this pretty easily. And there you go, Starkiller. Obviously not really a threat when he's that low gear, even with Omicrons. Now we kill Palpatine. Okay, now we have a different lineup to usual. Obviously Mando lead. This is without the Zeta on his lead, it's just I only have the unique Zeta. But here I was just like, I'm gonna need someone to annihilate the nest. So obviously once Mando gets his contract, which you do by just critting people, and Fennec obviously will help with that by doing a lot of her kicks. We should be able to get this pretty simple. I think I call in Fennec here for the assist, get the contract, and then we pop her with rifle on the next go. Goodbye. 456. And next we have BAM versus Hux. Obviously, they only get to use BAM a lot on offense these days because a lot of the old counters for like Fennec versus Lord Vader just don't work anymore because of Datacrons, unfortunately. As you can see, we are using our own Datacron here. Not too sure what the Datacron actually did, but I believe we finished this with 4 banners. My memory is serving me well. So just trying to get rid of Hux first there, so we can actually need to worry about like turn meter manipulation. Obviously, him stopping us getting turn meter. Obviously, Quail's big heal gives a nice bit of turn meter boost. Almost killed Sith Trooper off. Immunity is obviously helping a ton here, otherwise he'd still be just healing up loads. And we can obviously finish for the 57. And now we have a sortie fight. Yay! Actually got it to work. Unfortunately we did lose T3 in this to Deca because obviously the only display we had was the one that we needed to get the damage output from IG. So now we're obviously waiting for a 3-turn cooldown to get rid of that. Damage immunity on Deca, but obviously not much we could do about that other than wait. Obviously there goes T3 once, and then I believe we are going to, he's going to get shot again and die. Tried to go for the ability block, which didn't land, but it didn't matter anyway because he just basicked, and then obviously we shoot him once to finish for 52. I'm really looking forward to actually getting Salty up to higher relics because I feel like she's going to be really good, obviously in either defense or offense. But I have actually been enjoying her using at the low gear levels, even though I haven't been as successful probably as she would have been if she was relics. Obviously next we have quite a fun fight. Obviously Barriss with Engineer and Scav versus obviously a Mon Mothma squad. No Kara, but Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, which I didn't think was going to be too much of an issue when I originally obviously started this fight, but as you're about to find out, we seriously lack the damage output to obviously kill off Scarif Rebel Pathfinder before he gets buffs, because obviously he just keeps reviving. We're about to blow everyone else out the water, and then obviously we just got to whittle down Scarif to actually kill him, and hope that one of the wet needle attacks without him having buffs will kill him. So ended up putting this on full auto and just hoping for the best, really. And full auto wasn't working because they were using really stupid abilities, and I was like, I'm gonna try manual this. Would have been a lot easier if Kara was here, but you know, Gareth might like to make life a little bit difficult. I was like, getting to this point, I was like, oh my god, we're going to time out. Going to time out because Barriss and Jawas can't do any damage to kill Scarif before he... here we go. And dead. Yay. 454. Then we have Darth Vader with Wat, obviously versus Boba with Zam Omicron. Got quite unfortunate there with the ability spot landing on us. Probably should have cleansed Vader there, so I could have run into Merciless Massacre next go, but see, it doesn't matter too much. I feel like we've got similar banners to before. Not to before, as we did now, obviously, had we done that. So you can't revive their Boba because we've got weapon tech on us. Luckily that wasn't changed when they nerfed Wat. Lost Shore Trooper there, unfortunately, but that's what his job was there for, just to take the hits away from Darth Vader. Don't know why I did the Force Crush there, because obviously got Tenacity up. Nothing's gonna land. We get to Merciless Massacre and a basic, and I believe that is done for 51. So pretty rubbish banners, but I was running out teams at that point. Now Bossk with Fennec and Grief versus Padme. Obviously with Mace and Ahsoka. I've been really enjoying using Mace with Padme in 3v3. Normally with Ayla. Obviously if I don't use Ahsoka, I do use her as well. I was kind of just hoping that the high damage output from Fennec was going to be enough to kick through everyone. Obviously trying to avoid any assists, but there's sometimes you just can't avoid it really. So obviously they almost got Ahsoka out, and she unfortunately healed, or Padme healed her, I should say. That's a case of just waiting for a good opening so I can actually do a big hit with Fennec. Decided to stack some Iron Shreds on Padme just to try and get through her obviously high health pool. But anyway, we're going to be moving on to the last fight of this highlight reel, which is going to be Veers versus JTR. Obviously, it's quite a straightforward fight. Dark Trooper just punches everyone out, as usual in these sort of fights. So no need for me to do a commentary, luckily. But if you have enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe. And I did want to say a big thank you for 400 subs. I do really appreciate every single one of you that has subbed to me so far. See, we are getting close to the 500 mark, which will be when I'm able to do community posts, which is going to be quite good, I think, for my channel. And I just want to mention, obviously, I have taken a slight break from Grand Arena, obviously, with 3v3. Datacrons kind of ruined this game mode for me. So obviously, it just felt like with things going on with personal life, I was able just to take a mini break from Grand Arena. But we will be returning to the usual format for 5v5, hopefully. So I shall catch you in the next one.